Ashish is someone who believes in the process of dialogue and communication, and through that creating economic interdependence. So what we want to discuss today is, Ashish, what's your opinion on CII being a non-governmental organization but being dead at 6% business in SARC?
Inviting me to be here, and I would just like to make a point to everybody. See, I am here because of her passion. I still remember how I connected with her. I was just scrolling up and down my social media account when I saw some of her tweets there, which was mentioning about her initiative.
Oh, and you were intrigued by me involving the Pakistan Business Council in the conversation.
And the way CII is, assisting with this great cause. See, as a defense and strategic affairs and diplomatic journalist, I am generally disappointed that this coming together of regional countries, SARC was a very good forum for everybody to move in the right direction, has been stuck between India and Pakistan. There are so many roadblocks that nothing is just moving on. Before coming here, Rachna, I was just talking to Joint Secretary United Nations, just to confirm at the last moment at the 11th hour if SARC foreign ministers are meeting on the sidelines of UNGA or not. So he says there is no conformity, and which is a very sad thing. Even after the abrogation of Article 370, Section 370, I'm sorry, from Kashmir in 2019, the SARC foreign ministers had met there. So this time it is 50-50. Probably it is not happening. So this is sad as a journalist. I know there are so many things that can be done that you are also working on, and especially for you, Rachna, to work for it, and the way CII is coming along, and I just hope they assist you fully. If you are able to, come out with some concrete outcome and present it before the government and the administration, I am damn sure this can work out. If not for anything else, at least the economic aspect. At least the way the member nations can, come together in assisting each other.
People to people connect, yes, right? Yeah.
So many things. People to people
Yeah.
contact. Any kind of reconciliation needs a dialogue. Yeah. And that is what you are.
Right. So I'll tell you that being objective and very rational rather than emotional about a problem. And this problem of conflict and continuous prolonged conflict and absence of communication is something that has to be dealt with in a very non-provocative manner. So we at Phuro Innovations are an intellectual platform. We are not activists. We do not want to do anything that is not in line with our government's vision or norms or rules they have set up. But at the same time, I think in private individual capacity and as a private institution, I think I should have the right to do business with who I want to. And that is something that I want to request, because CII being a non-profit organization, and they were established in first way to do trade in SARC. There's 94% trade dead in SARC. And I think that's not really good, because we are a poor nation. We are literally surrounded by poverty to the, yes, exactly. And it's hitting below belt now. If not now, then when are we going to think about it? And as a private institution, like I said before, I would request the CII to extend help. That is their job. I think it's like Red Cross. Like Red Cross as an NGO, everybody knows it. They can't say, I'm not going to a war zone. That's not why they were established, right? So even if we have conflict and they are deep-rooted and they need political conversation or discussion, with due respect, please go ahead with that, but at least let people do business. And that's what my opinion on that is. You know about the Indus Treaty, right? Yeah, and I want to share with you that we can learn from the Indus Treaty. So that is a one successful peace treaty between India and Pakistan, and it's a successful story, right? There is a commission which meets yearly. And every 5 years, they go and inspect the waters. This was done because the latter, Pakistan thought that at some point, because we have the basin of rivers, we might not give them water, which is very bad, right? So we should actually think of evolving on such treaties and say, what are the other treaties It took them 8 years to negotiate. It was not easy. But I think if we can start today, we may be able to negotiate certain things. And like you said, maybe people like you can take it to the governments and help us and amplify our message.
Your this thing, and if something good and concrete comes out, I will certainly, I can promise that I will try and act as a bridge between you and the administration, the government. Like Praveen just mentioned, Prime Minister also, Praveen, if you recollect, and all the other friends, during the COVID wave, Prime Minister had a virtual SARC meet of heads of state. Though Imran Khan Sahab had sent his special representative, he did not himself come. But look at the innovative ideas propagated by Prime Minister, thrown by Prime Minister. He said, why can't we have a system wherein the doctors and nurses without visas can travel? Look at the road network being worked out between India, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh. There's so much that can be done, Rachna. And I truly admire you for that. As I said when I met her, I mean, the passion that you carry. If this brings out something concrete, yes, we can work towards, this time also, let's frankly, I can share with everybody that I had suggested to you to have some government representatives here, but her idea was to, first, let's talk amongst ourselves, something good comes out, and then probably I'll try and do my bit, definitely.
Yes. So see, I'll tell you, because a government, a political institution, and several other people who are involved in this.
Just a short point.
Yeah.
Let's all go back to Bachpan mein kya padhte the, Kabuli wala. What was that?
Yeah.
Coming from Kabul
Correct.
to Kolkata to hand over those small little Kabuli chanas to a kid.
Yes.
तब हो सकता था तो अब क्यों नहीं हो सकता?
Exactly.
That's the point. Let's find something to navigate.
Exactly. So I lost my thought with this Kabuli chana. What were we discussing? Yeah, so I was talking about that there is a lot of baggage when you are a politician, when you are in the government, when you are in any of that government position, you have, because you're, it's like an institution. For example, if I'm working with McKinsey, I have to follow the McKinsey rules, right? It's as simple as that. So I generally do not have any problem with them doing their politics and following their ideology, because that's what they stand for. That's why we elect them. And I have due respect for that. That is why I think this is an opportunity for a lot of non-state actors now to come and take the center stage and create institutions. Because once you have an institution, once you have a lot of valid non-state actors, I think that's the time that you can then also go and do some kind of advocacy at policy level with the member of parliaments. You can create a law. You can actually start working on a peace treaty, take it on to the journalists, the media, all the business heads who have, who are here today, all the actors, models. We need sports people. We need support of everybody, because you guys can change. In your private capacity, you don't have a baggage, right? You don't have any baggage of your political party, or you don't have a baggage of your ideology. You're a government employee. You can't do that. You can simply start at least getting into normalcy towards opening dialogues, towards doing some kind of business, and going back to your states, your countries, wherever you belong to, and seeking protection and safety from the government. Because that's what they are there for. Aren't they there to save our lives, save our health, give me education? That's the first thing that we need from them.
Exactly. Why? See, 3.4 billion US dollars assistance by India to Sri Lanka.
Exactly. Big point.
The SAARC nations are facing deep economic crisis. This needs to be dealt, and there are ways you can work. Even just 2 days earlier, if you recollect, Pakistan was also sounding. They were saying that we can restart our trade with Pakistan. Though of course, with India. Though of course later on they clarified, they have not yet taken any such stand. But then the thinking is there. You obviously it's a fantastic idea if the non-state actors can contribute. I think this is going to go in a very, very right direction, long direction. Let's see how it.
Yeah, my last question to you would be not question, but is how people like you who have the influence in the governments, in the political institutions, and of course across the audience, people are watching you, to help people like us who have this kind of, I will say, purpose in life, and make that purpose into something which is tangible, which creates some value.
See, Rachna, name dropping is not a good thing, but since the your intent is very good, I can tell you that by virtue of looking after strategic affairs, also I have had many number of interactions with the National Security Advisor, Mr. Ajit Doval. So despite, as I was mentioning to Praveen, that we have done Balapur and Uri, I can tell you that somebody on top of the strategic affairs who's looking after the security of the country is the right thinking man. He thinks that we should try and work out something which takes all this in the right direction, strike peace, and this continued environment of hostility is not in favor of anybody. So yes, in response to your question, as a friend, I assure you, whatever concrete comes out of this coming together, everybody putting across their point of view, I shall try my best to convince the establishment along with you guys. We can go in delegation or maybe otherwise and present our notes to them and maybe assist them, support them, maybe give them
Yes.
good innovative ideas in whichever direction we can move.
Exactly. I think this is exactly what we need to do, and this is exactly what they need. They need help because they are dealing with a country which is in crisis all the time, and they are doing crisis management. So definitely, we can do the thinking job for them. Thank you for extending that support. Thank you, and I'm going to hold on to you for saying this. So I will minute it, and I'll be after you. Thank you so much.